Hello, this demonstration I'm going to show you how to do linear programming for production optimizations. So if you don't know how to include the solver uh, analysis tool pack, please refer to my previous demonstration. Okay, so assuming we have the solver tool pack, let's start with looking at the information. We have a company which producing two different type of products. These two products actually require two different level of input. One is labor, one is material, and both of these input have limited amount of supplies. So we have in total 30,000 of labor hour and 36,000 of material. Um, these two products produce different level of contribution per unit. So the contribution per unit already been calculated in this example, um, which actually is should be calculated by selling price minus variable cost. Okay, now we take this information, we formulate the problem, we take all the information from previous the information page, make sure you reference all this data rather than manually type them in to avoid human mistake of input. Is a very good practice in using reference. Okay, so now we assume we're going to produce a certain number of this bolt and certain number of widgets. So notice that actually I tried to actually use the name uh, for each of the box so that now when we calculate the contribution, actually it's so clear that it's contribution per unit times the productions plus the other one. So using naming in Excel is helpful in this regard. So this is the total contribution. The objective is to make this number as big as possible while subject to these two constraints. The constraint is saying, okay, the labor hour usage, this is total labor hour usage, and total material usage had to be smaller than whatever available here. So the setup is ready to do a linear programming, so the solver. But before doing that, you always need to check whether all the formula setup actually is correct. For example, if we show here, we put 1, then all the information pass on through correctly. And press 2, then it add this same up as well. And notice that here it's actually using different format. So maybe we want to show also some decimal place. But after setting that up, we know that the maximum contribution, it is determined by the production, and the resource usage also determined by the production. Then we go to the solver. Okay, so the objective is to solve maximize contribution. So we select B13 and we select maximization by changing these two per production level. So notice that we don't have to select one by one, we can select a range. And then there's a constraint we need to put in place. So the first constraint is the labor hour constraint, and this is the material constraint. And the other two constraint is saying we have to be produce integral number of products and have to be positive number as well. Normally, you select all this default GRG nonlinears, then you can just click solve. In Office 2010, make sure you unclick this ignore integral constraint, otherwise you won't get the correct results. So once you click that, that gives you the answer, and you say keep the answer, select the answer report, and then click OK. That will give you the answer, and you can look into the constraint whether they are bounded or not. Notice that the resource constraint, it is bounded. It's binding.